Hey everybody, and welcome to another Cricut craft tutorial. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos all the time, and hit that bell icon because that will alert you to when I post a new video. Today I'm going to show you guys how we're going to work with UV resin to make these awesome acrylic blank keychains. This is the one we're going to make in this video, and I don't know how well you guys can see it from way back there, but it's really pretty and super easy to do, and you just need a couple of things. You'll need an acrylic blank and then a keychain piece, whichever kind you decide you like. You'll need some Mod Podge, and we'll use that to put the glitter on. You'll need glitter. This you can use any kind that you want. This is a Ultrafine by DeRice. You'll need some UV resin. I got this off Amazon. I will link that down below. And then I use a UV light, which I got this one from Amazon as well. I will link this below. It's about $10, but you can also cure these just in the regular sunlight. So let's go over to Design Space so I can show you guys how to use the acrylic blank keychains, and we're going to put this cute little monogram on them. This is the acrylic blank that we are using, and this is from 651 vinyl, and it is clear right now, but you do need to make sure that you remove this protective coating, and I don't know how well you guys can see that, but there is a protective coating on both sides of it, but we'll just remove the one side first. So we'll set that down with the removed coating side up, and we are going to use Gloss Mod Podge, and I apologize if this is upside down. I don't think it is. But we're going to use the Gloss Mod Podge to stick our glitter to it. And we are just using the DeRice Extra Fine glitter in like a purpley color. I don't know if it gives me an exact color, you guys. Fairy. So this is a fairy. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but it's really pretty purple. So we're going to use that, and we're just going to use a regular old brush. So you're going to open up your Mod Podge, and I'm not, you guys know this from watching my videos, I don't like Mod Podge. However, for certain projects, it's fine. It's not my favorite, but it will do. So you just want to brush it on all over your acrylic, but you want to be very careful around the hole for your keychain portion, and you want to make sure you're not getting it all down the sides, because we're going to put vinyl on the other side, and then we'll seal the whole thing. We'll seal each side with the UV resin. So as you can see, I'm just brushing it on. I don't want it super globby. So anytime you get a glob, a real bad one, you just want to make sure you brush it off. It doesn't take a ton of Mod Podge, so you can actually brush some of the excess off if you're getting a lot of streaks and globs on it. You just want to make sure that you have the whole entire thing covered, and covered well. So you just want to make sure you go around all the edges and just make sure that you have everything covered. Now I am doing this on a sheet of cardstock, just an extra sheet that I had laying around. I do that so I can save the glitter, because you will end up like knocking a ton of glitter off. So go ahead and close up your Mod Podge and put your paintbrush to the side. And like I said, we're going to use this Recollections brand. I have not opened it yet, so I may need to stop the video so I can open it, because I'm like a terrible glitter opener. Like, this is just not something I'm good at. It makes me nervous. I can never get the lids off. Oh, and this one, of course, has like the hardest lid to get off ever. Got it. So you'll want to, I hope you all saw that. Apparently my glitter has a little hole in it, and it decided to poof. So anywho, so you want to make sure you take your protective coat off your glitter. And of course I get the one that's like half off and falling in the glitter. So while I'm doing this, I'm going to do this right on top of my mason jar, because why not? You can save the glitter off the lid. So we'll go ahead and put the lid to the side. So again, just try to make sure you're keeping this on top of your cardstock, and I'm going to use the little shaker side of it, and then I'm just going to shake, and we're going to shake quite a bit on here, because you want to make sure that you're covering your entire design. So you just want to make sure that you're getting all of it covered with your pretty purple glitter. And you can see, you can move it around a little bit if you see it's kind of globbing in some spots, but you just want to shake it on there. And if your shaker's being a pain like mine seems, oh, nope, now it's working. Sometimes these glitter shakers can be like the death of me. I hope you guys can see how pretty and bright this purple is. It's so pretty. So now that I've got that all on, I'm going to just make sure that it's fully covered. So all I'm going to do is just tap, 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 tap. And I want to tap it so that it's kind of going all over the mason jar. And then I'm just going to tap it a couple of times just directly on to our cardstock. And you can see that it is covered. So we're going to let this go ahead and dry for a little while, and then we can put the UV resin on the mason jar on the glitter side, and then we can do the decal. So let's let that dry for a couple minutes, and when we come back, we can get that done. For our next step, we're going to use this UV resin. I got this off Amazon. I will link this below. And you just need another paintbrush. Don't use the same one that you use the Mod Podge on unless you've already washed it and let it dry. And this has like a squeezy top, and this doesn't take a ton of the resin to do. And again, you're going to want to be careful around that hole, but we're just going to kind of squeeze some out onto our blank. And I didn't really do like a, I don't know, like a pattern or anything. You just want to make sure that you have it all over your blank. I can't think of the word blank today. And then you just want to move it around with your paintbrush, being careful not to get it along the edge or on, dripping down the sides. So to do that, I just gently push it to the edges. I don't actually shove it over the side. It's just barely touching the edge. And this is just a basic flatten it out kind of thing. So you just want to kind of help flatten it out. And you want to make sure that you've gotten the whole thing covered. This stuff does not smell pleasant. I will be 100% honest with you guys. This is not a good smell. It's not the grossest thing I've ever smelled, but it's not. Just be aware that it's not, all sunshine and daisies over here. It is a disgusting smell. And then we're just simply going to make sure that we have everything covered. And I like to give mine a nice tap, 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 just to make sure that it's smooth. And to make sure it's smooth, I will hold mine up and to the light so that I can see if I've missed any areas, to see if I have any spots that maybe we need to fill in a little bit more. And I'm going to give it just a little more resin just because there's just a couple little spots. So I want to just make sure that it's going to cover it evenly. But that's why I have another light on too when I do these, because I find that it does give you a little more help seeing where you maybe missed some spots or where maybe it's not fully smooth. And you can actually use silicone brushes for this. I just didn't have a silicone brush. I need to get some. I do usually prefer using a silicone brush for this type of stuff. It just gives you a bit of a smoother finish. But when you don't have one, you kind of use what you got. So again, be careful around the hole because you don't want to fill it in with the resin. But you can always put like a toothpick on it if you want to, in through the hole. Alright, I think we are looking pretty gosh darn smooth. So like I said, I like to give it a little tap, 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 tap. And that just helps it smooth itself out. And now we are going to use our UV light. So this is probably going to be hard for you guys to see, but I'm just going to turn it on. You'll see that it's blue. You're just going to set that over your blank and then let that sit. I've got this set for about 1.5 minutes. It's going to depend on how warm your room is, as well as how much resin you've put on. A couple factors really do factor into when your resin is fully cured. So let this cure, and I'll tell you guys about how long it took me in my room that's about 75. I did get this UV light from Amazon. I will link it below. It was only about $10. So it's been cured for about 2.5, 3 minutes. And you'll know that it's cured when it's not tacky anymore. So it won't feel like sticky. I don't know how else to describe it, but like this one's still a little sticky in spots. So we're going to go ahead and put it back under. Like I said, sometimes it just depends on how hot your room is, as well as how much you put on. There's a lot of factors, so there's no exact answer to how long it takes to cure the UV resin. This one does have a 120-second timer. It's got I believe a continuous on, a 60-second, and then 120 seconds. So let's let that cure some more, and when we come back, we'll get to put on our really cool decal. And I'll show you guys this. This is really pretty. It's holographic vinyl from CRICUT, and then just some black vinyl on top of it with my monogram. But if you guys want me to teach you guys how to do this knockout, leave me a comment below. Hit that like button, because I'll teach you guys how to do the offset, not a knockout. Sorry, it's an offset. So now that that's cured, we flip this over. So this is the UV resin side, and this is the plain side that doesn't have anything on it yet. And we're going to put this little monogram on there. I have some transfer tape on it already, so it's just ready to go. But again, if you guys want me to teach you how to do the offset on this, let me know. Like the video, comment below. I'm more than happy to teach you guys, but I need to know if you want me to do it because it is not a Design Space tutorial. It is done in a different program, but very, very easy to do. So we're going to go ahead and use our squeegee and press it down. And we're going to go ahead and peel our transfer tape off, if we can find the edge of it. Love how that looks. So pretty. I don't know how well you guys can see, but it's really pretty. Like, it's super sparkly, really pretty. So we're going to go ahead and do the UV resin now on this side because we want to make sure both sides are well protected. So we're going to go ahead and take our little brush that we used with the UV resin before, and we're just going to do the same thing. We're just going to take some resin, and I usually draw a little like kind of border around it and then fill the middle in a little bit. Again, this really doesn't take a ton of resin, and then you're just going to take your brush and push it around. Again, I do prefer a silicone brush for this, but I don't have one on hand right now. I don't know where I put all of them. I had a million of them. But since I can't find them, we're just going to have to kind of deal with what we have. So we're just going to make sure that it doesn't drip off the side. I put a little bit too much on the side, but it's alright. We'll just squeeze it all into the center and it will be fine. So you want to make sure that your decal is well covered, because this is going to protect your decal and your blank from getting scratched. So just want to make sure you get all around the edges. And then again, I just hold it up a little bit so I can just see if it's got any bubbles in it, or if it's got some spots that maybe I missed. And then I'm just going to clean up my edge a little bit just by taking my brush around the edge. I got just a little goop on the edge, so it's okay. But I think it looks pretty good. Now I will say I do have some bubbles in the actual resin itself, but nobody will notice them. If you get bubbles, you can use a butane torch, and it does have to be a butane torch. You can't just use like a lighter. I found the lighter did not work very well when I tried it, but you can use that to kind of burst your bubbles, so to speak. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back under our UV lamp, and then when we're done, I'll show you the finished product. And here is our finished keychain. I did forget to mention that you'll want to wipe this with alcohol before you put the resin on, before you do anything to it, really, just to make sure that none of the oils from your hand have gotten on it. And you can always add more layers of glitter if you want to. Once your first layer dries, you can put more Mod Podge on and more glitter, but I kind of wanted it clear since it's a mason jar. But here's the finished product. It's really cute. I did add the little keychain hook part to it. Very, very easy to do. I used this ring tool. You can get this at 651. I will link it down below. It just helps you open the junk rings really easily. If you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. I'm always happy to answer those for you. If you guys want to learn how to do the offset, please like the video, comment. I will totally teach you guys how to do that. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos all the time. And hit that bell icon because that will alert you to when I post a new video. Have a great day and happy crafting!